Welcome to part one of our four-part explainer series. Today, we're bringing you a comprehensive RA 12009 summary. We're unpacking the sweeping new legislation that completely modernizes the procurement law the Philippines relies on to, well, build our infrastructure and deliver public services. So, let's jump right in. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand the magnitude of this reform, we kind of have to look back at where we've been. For 21 years, Republic Act No. 9184 was our default legal framework. And hey, it was groundbreaking back then. But let's be real, 2 decades is an absolute eternity in governance. You might be wondering, why did the country's long-standing system need such a massive overhaul right now? What exactly changed in public service delivery to make a 21-year-old law practically obsolete? Well, the old procurement law was, unfortunately, plagued by some painfully slow processes. It often resulted in incredibly low bidder participation simply because private companies found the bureaucracy totally paralyzing. And perhaps the most frustrating part, it led to severe challenges in actual contract implementation. It was just too rigid. So the need for modernization was absolutely crucial. The government needed an urgent, campaign-ready push toward true transparency, lightning-fast efficiency, and rock-solid accountability. The goal here wasn't just to put a Band-Aid on the old law. It was to build a highly responsive system that achieves actual value for money and, delivers quality public services on time. And that urgency brings us to the landmark national reform itself. Republic Act No. 12009, officially known as the new Government Procurement Act. Signed into law on July 20th, 2024, the RA 12009 the Philippines has been waiting for isn't just a quick update. It's a meticulously curated piece of legislation. It's designed to completely enhance, streamline, and modernize how the government acquires literally everything, from everyday office supplies to massive multi-billion peso infrastructure projects. It is the definitive, legally precise response to those gaps we just talked about. Now, every great law needs a solid foundation, right? And RA 12009 is built on 8 brilliant governing principles. We're talking about enhanced transparency through open contracting and improved competitiveness to really level the playing field. It mandates increased efficiency using emerging tech, proportionality, and enhanced accountability so everyone is held liable. Add in participatory processes for civil society, sustainability to evaluate the full life cycle costs, and strict professionalism to build a truly skilled workforce. When you put all that together, you've got a dynamic action plan, not just a pile of administrative paperwork. So the crucial point is this brand new fit-for-purpose approach. Under the old law, competitive bidding was the absolute, rigid default. Alternative methods, those were strictly for highly exceptional cases. But the new Government Procurement Act introduces a complete paradigm shift. It recognizes a pretty basic fact. Buying a box of pens shouldn't require the exact same rigid process as building a multi-million peso bridge. Fit for purpose really empowers procuring entities. It allows them to use a variety of smart, customized procurement methods that dynamically respond to their actual needs. It ensures the process is directly proportional to the scale and complexity of the project. Now, what's really fascinating about this is how the law tackles corruption head-on through digitalization. Championed by the Government Procurement Policy Board, RA 12009 mandates a true whole government approach. It leverages the PhilJeep system as the single electronic portal covering the whole shebang, from planning right down to the actual payment. But it goes way further than that. It legally authorizes the interconnectivity of government databases. Just imagine a system where PhilJeeps automatically cross-references data with the DTI, the BIR, and local government units. By sharing all this information through one integrated network, it acts as a ridiculously powerful real-time anti-corruption strategy. It's total transparency. Of course, you can't just rebuild an entire national system overnight. Well, the law was enacted on July 20th, 2024, and officially took effect shortly after on August 13th. The framers of the law were incredibly smart about how to roll this out. They provided a 3-year transitory period. This gives the Government Procurement Policy Board, agency heads, and the Bids and Awards Committees a realistic grace period to get their ducks in a row. Over these 3 years, as the standard forms and digital infrastructures are built out, agencies will steadily transition from the old rules into full, strict compliance with the new act. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why we're doing all of this in the first place. Because who wins under this sweeping reform? Honestly, everyone.
Government agencies win because they can use strategies like pooled procurement, basically consolidating their needs to buy in bulk, achieving economies of scale, and getting dramatically lower prices. Suppliers win because the playing field is leveled. There's equal opportunity, way more transparency, and real avenues for technology diffusion. But most importantly, we, the citizens, win. When the government spends efficiently, citizens get much better value for public money and significantly higher quality public services.
Before we wrap up this first part of our explainer, I have to point out a highly specific and frankly fascinating detail embedded in this framework. To support the Tatak Pinoy or Proudly Filipino strategy, RA 2029 includes a strict 10-year mandate. For the next 10 years, for products and services covered by the Tatak Pinoy strategy, the procuring entity is legally required to award the contract to a domestic bidder. That means actively prioritizing suppliers who offer materials grown, produced, or manufactured right here in the Philippines. It is a massive, deliberate injection of support straight into the local economy.
Ultimately, it all comes back to a unified national vision. This whole government approach shows us that these legal and highly technical changes aren't just happening in a vacuum. By modernizing how the government buys goods and services, we are directly ensuring that national progress accelerates. Better procurement literally translates to better roads, better hospitals, better schools. It has a direct positive impact on your everyday life. Which brings us to the end of part 1. We've laid the groundwork. We know what the new Government Procurement Act is, and we know exactly why it matters so much. But how do these new fit-for-purpose tools actually work in practice? In part 2 of this explainer series, we're going to look under the hood. Are you ready to explore completely innovative modalities like competitive dialogue, unsolicited offers with bid matching, and direct acquisition? Trust me, the way the government buys is about to get a whole lot more interesting. I'll see you in the next explainer.